So are you thinking about selling your house in Port St. Lucie, but you're really worried because you hear all these things going on in the media and you wonder, is now a good time to sell? And what do you do with all this inventory that we have in our current marketplace? If that's what you're thinking, stick around. You're not going to want to miss this video. My name is Megan Schoner. I'm a local real estate agent here on the Treasure Coast, and I love helping people every single day buy and sell their homes here on the Treasure Coast. And I'm happy to help you. So please feel free to reach out to me, send me a text message, give me a call, shoot me an email. I would love to connect with you. So in today's video, normally on my YouTube channel, talk to a lot of people that are looking to move into the area, into Port St. Lucie and the Treasure Coast. But recently I've been getting a ton of emails and calls from different people that are saying, you know, I've lived in Port St. Lucie and it's time for me to sell, but I'm so nervous because I keep hearing what's happening on the media and I'm looking at all these different apps and it's showing me that now is not a good time to sell, but I'm kind of stuck in my home and I really want to get out and I don't know what to do. Or, you know, maybe you live here in Port St. Lucie and maybe you have grandkids for the first time, and you want to move closer to them. Or, you know, maybe you're going through a difficult life circumstance, could be a death or divorce, something like that, and just a change in lifestyle, and you know what, Port St. Lucie is not the right fit for you. Or maybe you've moved here and you had different ideas of what the area you thought it was going to be, or maybe it's just too hot for you, all different types of reasons. So I wanted to go through in this video and talk about what you can do and to put yourself and your house in the best possible situation to get sold in this current market. So the first thing is, I'll address the elephant in the room. So in Port St. Lucie currently, this is as of October of 2024, we have a lot of inventory. Currently we have over, I think it's 663 single family homes here in Port St. Lucie alone that are on the market, and that does not even include all of the new construction. So when people hear that, they start freaking out immediately. Oh my gosh, my house is never going to get sold. The issue with that, when you look at the amount of homes that are for sale, but you also consider the fact that we have, you know, our town is growing to over 250,000 residents. So it's still a small percentage in terms of the number of overall people here that live in Port St. Lucie. What is different about our area versus other areas in South Florida or in Florida in general, I can't speak for everybody, but I can tell you what's going on specifically in our area, is we're a little bit different than other areas because we are consistently getting new people moving to the area. So again, we get all of our typical, we call them, you know, they're snowbirds, are people from the Northeast that we love, and also from Canada that come down, you know, maybe have a second home here, you know, or coming down to retire. In addition, we're getting a lot of people from after COVID that are able to work remotely, and they like the fact that they don't have a state income tax. So we're getting people from California and Texas and Arizona and a lot of different areas than we typically would get. The biggest factor that makes, I think, our area different than a lot of the other areas here in South Florida is we're also getting a lot of people from like down south. So when I say down south, that means Fort Lauderdale, Miami, West Palm are all moving up to our area. We have kind of a weird phenomenon here in Southeast Florida. People will move north, but they don't necessarily move south. I don't know why, it's just a weird thing. So what's happening is, you know, basically someone from Port St. Lucie wouldn't necessarily move down south to Boca or Delray Beach, but somebody from Boca or Delray Beach would move up to Port St. Lucie. The reason for it is that usually the further south you go, the busier it gets, and also the more expensive the house prices are. So a lot of people will move further north because it's quieter. You know, Port St. Lucie is what, you know, West Palm and Fort Lauderdale were 10 or 20 years ago. So a lot of people will move up here, and we're getting a lot of that migration to our area, in addition to all of our snowbirds and all the people that can now work remotely. So we are a little bit different in terms of some of the other areas in Florida that don't have that same influx of in-state people moving to the area. I guess just kind of put that to the side. So you have, you know, we do have a lot of inventory available, but we also do have a lot of people that are constantly moving to the area. Every single day there are homes in our market that are being bought and sold. There are a ton of buyers out there right now that are looking for homes. Interest rates are starting to come down. The weird thing is right now, a lot of people are kind of sitting on the sidelines. They want to wait till after the election. Why, I don't know, but everyone just feels like everything's kind of in transition right now. So I do think, you know, come November, we're going to see more of an influx and things are going to start moving faster. I do have a lot of buyers that are testing the waters right now, kind of looking to see what's available. So it is a good time to be, you know, on the market. The other thing too is to think about seasonality down here. So we're a little bit different. A lot of times, you know, I meet all you guys from YouTube and people are from all over the country, and it's very different in terms of, you know, the inventory and how quickly homes are bought and sold in other areas. Our season here, what we call like in season, or our season, is usually when we have more of our snowbirds here. So that usually comes from usually like the Thanksgiving to Easter is really our main season. So what you'll see is a lot of sellers will list their houses between those times because they know there's more people that are in our area looking to purchase. Maybe they're here on vacation, they're visiting family or friends, and they're in the market taking a look around. So that's more of our high season. I know in other areas it's more like the springtime or summertime. We actually are our slowest kind of like August, September. Again, we've got hurricanes. Most people, our snowbirds are gone, and it's kind of hot and miserable in the summer. So a lot of people just don't, just take vacation. They kind of leave. So that really is our lowest and slowest time. So now we're kind of now we're back in October. We're heating back up. Interest rates are starting to come down a little bit. Buyers are starting to come back into the market. So it is still a really good time to sell and put your house in the market. When you are getting ready to put your house in the market, one of the things I always suggest, again, I'm a real estate agent, so you guys know that I'm probably going to say this, but it's important to talk to a realtor and get what's called a CMA, a comparative market analysis. It's something free that all real estate agents can provide for you. Don't feel bad asking for it, but it gives you a really good idea of realistically what you can expect to get for your house, the sales price. And also your real estate agent should also give you like a seller's net sheet. And this will break down all of the closing costs and anything else that you're responsible for. So you can basically have that number, take away whatever your mortgage is, and that's how much you're gonna walk away with roughly at the end of the sale. So it's a good thing to have that number so you know what it is. I always say, I provide, you decide. At the end of the day, it's your house. You can pick what's best for you, but it's always good to have that information so, knowledge is power. The other thing too is when your real estate agent is meeting with you, make sure you guys go through the house too. I mean, as an agent, I'm giving, I'll tell you, hey, in this room you need to do pressure wash outside. You need new mulch. Maybe you should paint that, get some new carpet. Whatever it is. Agents can help you room by room and give you a to-do list. So that way you kind of know what to expect, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I tend to be a little bit more frugal, I think. I don't want you guys to spend extra money you don't have to. So there may be a lot of things that you think, oh, I have to do this. It's gonna make such a big difference when I list my house, but it may not even make any difference. So you may not even need to spend the extra money on it. The big thing for putting a house on the market right now, so specifically here in Port Saint Lucie, is when a buyer is looking for a home, and let's say it's not a brand new home in the last 5 years, the top 3 things that they're gonna ask for is what is the age of the roof, how old is the AC, and the water heater. So if you have a roof that is, from 2005, 2007, you may want to consider putting on a new roof or giving a credit to the buyer for a new roof. That will really make a big difference. Unfortunately, with our insurance companies, even though there's no problem with the roofs, they really don't like insuring roofs over 15 years. A buyer's gonna look at your house and say, you know what? If it has an older roof, I'm gonna have to put in $20,000 to put in a new roof. I may as well just go with this house down the street. So just something to consider. The other thing too is because there's so much inventory for the buyers to look at and to choose from, you wanna make sure that your house is in the best possible condition. Make it HGTV ready. There's lots of little things that you can do. You can pressure wash, doesn't cost that much, makes a huge difference. Same thing, put some new mulch outside. You can add a wreath to the front door, a welcome mat, because a lot of times buyers will drive by the neighborhood. They'll look at your house and decide if they even want to come in and set up an appointment. So you want to make sure that the outside of your house is as fresh as ready can be. And when they come in, you really want to make sure that your house that the biggest thing is that it's clean. I know it sounds silly. Have it professionally cleaned before photos and showings. Make sure that you have furniture in there, but it's not you don't have a lot of clutter. Really, truly, that makes the biggest difference. When a buyer comes in your house and they're looking at it, if they feel like it's not well maintained, they're going to put an offer significantly lower than they would if it was cleaned and well maintained. Same thing as when they do their inspection. They may ask for more things because they're not really sure you've taken care of the other things. So there's a lot of little tips and tricks that your agent can help you with. I know when I take a new listing, I also go through and I style my listings. So I have all kinds of little props of plants and flowers and little sayings. And if you don't have a bed in a spare bedroom, I have tricks of air mattresses and towels and sheets and all that kind of stuff. So if you ever have any question, talk to your real estate agent. But for example, white, like in a master bedroom, if you can just put a white bedspread, that makes luxury and elegance. So just a tip there too. The biggest thing is in this market, there are buyers, and the buyers, they want to buy homes, but there's so much to choose from that they don't want to get a bad deal. So if you price your house smart and you have it in really good condition and you've taken care of all the major things, the houses will move. In the past 2 weeks, I've been in multiple offer situations. So the buyers are out there. It's a really good time right now to get your house on the market, get it ready, get yourself prepped. The buyers are out there. We just have to stage and style your house and price it right. Another thing to consider is if your home has a pool. Of all the homes that are on the market, only 22 to 24% basically have a pool. So if you have a pool, it is a huge selling point for homes here in the area. The average cost to put in a pool is about $100,000 is what we're quoting now, and it takes about a year. So a lot of times when a buyer is looking at a resale house, if they want a pool, a lot of times as a real estate agent, we'll say, you know what, go ahead and get an existing home with a pool. It's a lot cheaper and easier, and you can always renovate the house, but versus trying to put a pool in. So the other thing too is if you do have a pool home and you're trying to decide when to put your home on the market, you know, April, May, June, when kids are getting out of school, early part of summer, pool homes are a little bit more in high demand than they are other times of the year. So just another thing to consider. The other thing to consider is when you are listing your home, not only are you competing against all the other homes that are currently on the market for sale, but you're also competing against the new construction homes. So when a buyer is looked at both homes, with new construction, they are getting, currently a lot of times the builders will give incentives to buy down the rate, or they'll provide closing cost incentives. Also on a new home, the insurance is less, a brand new home than it is on an existing home. So that's why I always say make sure that your house is as show ready as possible, that it looks like all the HGTV style type shows. It is, you know, clean and in really good condition, because a buyer may be willing to pay a little bit more for a new construction home because it's going to be under warranty and all the appliances and everything are going to be new. But if you have a resale home and your roof is new and you've got impact windows and maybe a fenced in yard and you've got the gutters already, maybe you have a pool, or you've done all the nice upgrades, it may offset. And a lot of the homes that are resale homes tend to be a little bit larger than some of the new construction homes as well. So there's still a lot of charm that a resale home offers to a buyer that they can't get in a new construction. For example, a pool, you know, the fenced in yard, all that kind of stuff that a buyer's going to have to pay. So just make sure that your home is as show ready as possible, and that you and your real estate agent are looking not only at the existing resale homes, but also for a similar new construction home, what those are selling for currently and what the builders are offering for incentives, just so you know when you're pricing your home what the buyers are looking at across the board. If you have any questions, if you want to set up a CMA, or you want some tips and tricks on how to prepare your house for the market, let me know. I'd be happy to help you.